Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining our joyous Chaitanya Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day pre-celebrations at the Hare Krishna Temple of Austin. Um, so today we will have two speakers. The first speaker will be His Highness Radha Rasbihari Das, and he will be he'll be sharing his pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the topic of appearance and disappearance of Mahaprabhu, and then that'll be until 5:30, and at 5:30, Sarveshvari Mataji and Kamala Naayana Prabhu will share their pastimes on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhuma Bhattacharya. So that is the agenda for today. With that, let's welcome Radha Rasbihari Das Prabhuji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Over to you, Radha Rasbihari Das Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhakaran Prabhuji, and I wish to thank His Grace Satyasara Prabhu and Jai Subhadra Mataji and all the Vaishnavas to giving me this opportunity to discuss about the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas so that I can not commit any mistake during this presentation, although it is just for my purification. And please bear with me. So external and internal reasons, there are two main reasons that are given for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And you have already heard in past from Ram Tirtha Prabhu and also from His Grace Satyasara Prabhu about the reasons for appearance of Mahaprabhu. So I'll be just trying to just take some Shastric references that are telling about Mahaprabhu's appearance and what are the main reasons for his appearance. So let me just seek blessings from all the Guru Parampara. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padai Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Siddhartha Swamiti Namni Namaste Shri Radha Rasbihari Charan Kamal Sevakam Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Priyate. Namo Om Vishnu Padai Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namni Namaste Shri Radha Rasbihari. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Puchandi Nirvisheshanvadi Paschatya Deshatarini. So let's begin with the invocation prayers. Please chant with me if you can. Ajanulambit bhujau kanakavadhato Sankirtanaikapitaro kamalayataksho Vishwambharau dvijavarau yugadharmapalo Vande jagat priyakaro karunavataro. I offer my respects unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, whose arms extend down to their knees, who have golden yellow complexions, and who inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names. Their eyes resembles the petals of lotus. They are the maintainers of all living entities. They are the best of Brahmanas, the protector of religious principles for this age, the benefactor of the universe, and the most merciful of all incarnations. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat 1.1.1. So there are two main reasons for appearance. One is the external reason. And among external reasons also, there are like three reasons, and internal reasons are also three main reasons. So as we know, in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So there are two main reasons for my appearance. First is Paritranaya, the protection of sadhus, the pious people, the followers of the virtuous path. Vinashya, vinashaya, that is the destruction of duskritanas, or the evildoers, or the sinful people. And also for dharma samsthapanarthaya, for establishing the virtue or the religious principles. For that purpose, he comes in every yuga. Sambhavami, every yuga means for every age he comes. Now you can ask one question. What was the reason for Mahaprabhu to come during this age? Because there was appearance of Lord himself. 5,500 years back, Lord Krishna, he appeared himself. So what was the reason for appearance of Mahaprabhu? So at the time when Mahaprabhu's appearance was happening, there was a lot of materialistic activities going on in the area of Navadvip, which was also considered as a center, epicenter for studies. There were a lot of people who were scholars, and wrong message was getting conveyed into the society. So during at that time, Advaita Acharya, he started worshipping the Lord by worshipping his shaligrams, his chela, and every time he was uh, asking for the seeking the Mahaprabhu's mercy, and he was thinking that this is the proper time for his appearance. And just to reciprocate to the call of Advaita Acharya, who is nobody else than a joint incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva, Lord came to the uh, to this world. The second thing is to establish the Yuga Dharma. The Yuga Dharma. What is the Yuga Dharma? The Yuga Dharma is for this age is Harinam Sankirtan. And in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32, this verse comes, which is Krishna Varnam Tvisha Akrishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagye Sankirtanair Prayer Yajanti Suhi Sumedhasaha. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So whenever Lord descends in the world, then he comes with his own associates. So all the associates, they are also coming along with the Lord so that he can perform some Leela. So what kind of Leela was this one? Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan. This is the main principle for which he came. This is one of the major external reasons that he came to establish the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga, which is Harinam Sankirtan. And the final external reason for appearance of Mahaprabhu was to distribute Prema Bhakti. So the Prem Bhakti, it is the confidential loving service performed to exchange loving affairs between Supreme Lord and his devotees. Now it should be noted that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not an incarnation of Krishna or Vishnu as other avatars. He is Krishna himself, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna's word Goloka Vrindavan is compared to a lotus flower, and within that abode is another lotus, and that is a lotus within lotus. So that the other lotus which is within the lotus is the place of appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates known as Navadvip. And the kind of love or prema bhakti he was spreading, it not only affected the human, but also the beasts. You can see in this image that there are beasts like tigers, then there are deers, and there's no hatred. Everyone is just dancing and chanting along with the Lord. This is the pastime where Lord is passing through Jharkhand forest, where he started to sing, and all the beasts and All the animals, they started to chant along with him and dance along with him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is the third external reason for Mahaprabhu's appearance. And it is clearly said, Patra apatra vichara nahi, nahi sthana sthana, yei yanha payatanha kare premadan. So Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami mahashuchaha. He says, until and unless you surrender unto me, it's not going to happen. But here, Mahaprabhu is not even thinking about who is that person, what is the caste, what is the creed, what is the nature of the person, what is the place, nothing. He is just distributing prema bhakti free of cost. So that is why it's called Mahavadanyaya. Mahavadanyaya. Now we come to the internal reasons. There are three main internal reasons also that are also considered as very confidential reasons. So that are clearly mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I'll be taking Shastric Pramanas about that and then discuss about it. So the first main reason was to understand the greatness of Radha Rani's love. The first purpose of Krishna's descent as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to relish the position of Srimati Radharani, who is the prime reciprocator of transcendental love of Sri Krishna. Now, this you can understand like this. Krishna is the reservoir of transcendental loving transaction with Srimati Radharani. And subject of those loving transactions is Lord himself, and Radharani is the object. Thus, the subject, the Lord wanted to relish the loving mellow in the position of the object, which is Radharani. So that is how he came to the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then there are some Shastric Pramanas from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'll read one by one. Sei Radhara Bhav Laina Chaitanya Avatar Yuga Dharma Nama Prema Kaila Prachar. Lord Chaitanya appears with the sentiment of Radha. He preached the dharma of this age, the chanting of the holy name, and pure love of God. Sei bhava nija vancha karila purana avatarera evamcha mula karana. In the mood of Srimati Radharani, he also fulfilled his own desire, the principal reason for his appearance. Sei Radhaya pranaya mahima kidrasho vanayaiva swadyo yena adbhuta madhurima kidrisho va madhya saukyam chasya mad anubhavatah kidrasham veti lobhata tadbhavadhyah samajani sachi garbha sindhu harinduh. Desiring to understand the glories of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi as the moon appears from the ocean. Second reason is to understand the transcendental mellow of himself. The second reason for his appearance was to understand the transcendental mellow of himself. Lord Krishna is all sweetness, and Radharani's attraction for Krishna is sublime. And to experience that attraction and understand the transcendental sweetness of himself, he accepted the mentality of Radharani. So there is a reference in Chaitanya Charitamrita. More Vamshi Gita Akarshay Tribhuvana Radhara Vachana Hare Amara Sravana. The vibration of my transcendental flute attracts the three words. My ears are enchanted by sweet words of Srimati Radharani. And the final reason, to enjoy the bliss tasted by Srimati Radharani. So the Lord thought that undoubtedly Radharani enjoyed his company and he enjoyed company of Radharani. But the exchange of transcendental mellow between the spiritual couple was not same. It was more pleasing to Srimati Radharani than to Sri Krishna. Radharani felt more transcendental pleasure in the company of Krishna than he could understand without taking her position. But Sri Krishna to enjoy in the position of Srimati Radharani was impossible without, because that position was not known to him. It was foreign to him. Although Radharani is his own internal potency, his Haladani Shakti, right? But still, he was not able to understand and relish that position without coming in position of Srimati Radharani. So that was one of the major reasons. So these are the three reasons that are present. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says, Radhara darshane mora judaya nayana, amar darshane radha sukhe ageyana. My eyes are fully satisfied when I look upon Srimati Radharani, but looking upon me, she becomes even more advanced in satisfaction. Okay, so we got to see three external reasons, three internal reasons, and Lord says, "Ei tina trishna mora nahi la puran vijatiya bhave nahi taha aswadan." But these three desires of mine were not satisfied, for one cannot enjoy them in a contrary position. Okay. And then Radhikara Bhava Kanti Angikara Vine Sei Tina Sukha Kabhu Nahi Aswadani. Unless I accept the luster of ecstatic love of Sri Radhika, these three desires cannot be fulfilled. And for fulfilling all these desires, he comes. Radha Bhava Angikari Dhari Tara Varna Tina Sukha Aswadite Haba Avatirna. Therefore, assuming Srimati Radharani's sentiment and bodily complexion, I shall descend to fulfill these three desires. Okay, so far we have seen external reasons, internal reasons of appearance of Mahaprabhu. Now, I want to take you to a different realm where these things are actually happening. So, I know many of you have already visited Vrindavan, and this is one of the places in Vrindavan. Many of you must have been there. If not there, please make a point that this time when you go to Vrindavan, please go to this very important place called Imlitala, which is coming in the Parikrama Marg. And you will see, have a darshan of very, very beautiful deities of Shri Shri Gaura and Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, along with welcoming Chaitanya Mahaprabhu right at the entrance. Okay, so what is the importance of this place? The importance of this place lies because at this very place, Srimati Radharani was bestowed as Vrindavaneshwari, Queen of Vrindavan. Her Rajyabhishek was performed at this particular place. And another very important Leela happened at this particular place called Imlitala is that, and this is from diary of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, where he's writing, when Lord Chaitanya was in Vrindavan, he would sit under Imlitala. Imlitala is a tamarind tree from the time of Lord Krishna. Once during the Rasa Leela, Srimati Radharani left the arena and Krishna went searching for her. He sat under this tree, crying out the names of Srimati Radharani. Although Krishna is the supreme controller in Vrindavan, Krishna is controlled by the love of his devotees. Vrindavan is the place where supreme controller reveals to the world that his greatest happiness is being controlled by the love of his devotees. Lord Krishna was feeling so much separation from Sri Radha's love that his beautiful complexion turned into golden color of Srimati Radharani's body. At that time, Srimati Radharani and gopis came and saw Krishna weeping and chanting Sri Radha's name. And Sri Radharani asked him, "What I am seeing?" And Krishna replied, "In the age of Kali, I am going to appear in a golden complexion, feeling the ecstasy of your love. Through bhakti, I am going to enlighten the world with the inner rasas of Vrindavan and inundate the hearts of countless people with your love through the chanting of holy names." And this is the side. This is the image from again from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj's travel diary, where you can clearly see Krishna taking the complexion of Srimati Radharani. And this is the place on the right. You can see this is the Emily or tamarind tree, under which you can see there is a small um, a deity of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there is some description given next to that tree. This is Maharas Leela, where Srimati Radharani, when she left, then Krishna came under the tree and started chanting the names of Radharani, and actually got the complexion of Srimati Radharani. Okay, so this description is there, and you can definitely see when you visit Vrindavan this time. And just to and there is a description of this thing in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Aparam kasyapi pranai janavrandasya kutuki rasastotam hritva madhuram upabhoktam kam apiyaha rucham swam avarare dyutim ihattadiyam prakaktayan sadevas chaitanya kritir atitaram nah kripayatu. Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellow of the love possessed by one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha, and so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow color. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. And finally, I want to conclude with the prayer of Sri Rupa Goswami, glorifying the Lord Chaitanya's advent and Sri Prabhupada's explanation on that. And please join me. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gauritvishe Namaha. O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna yourself, appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Prabhupada further continues in the next verse. We offer our respectful obeisances unto that merciful Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has converted all three worlds, which were maddened by ignorance, and saved them from their diseased condition by making them mad with the nectar from the treasure house of love of God. Let us take full shelter of that personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, whose activities are wonderful. Thank you so much, all the devotees and Vaishnavas hearing this presentation. Please forgive me for any mistakes that I may have committed. And this was just for my purification. So thank you so much for patiently hearing me. Prabhuji, you are mute. Prabhakaran Prabhu, you are mute.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Prabhuji. Yeah, I was talking in mute. So I was thank you so much for blissful class, Prabhuji, for especially three internal reasons and three external reasons for appearance of Mahaprabhu. And also, your note about Imli Tala is something like I is very enlightening. Like I've never been to that place, so I'll definitely be part of my stop places to stop by if I go to Vrindavan. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Devotees, any questions for Radha Rasibihari Prabhu? Okay. All right. So with that, let's move on to the next speaker or speakers, if you will. That'll be Sarveshvari Mataji and Kamala Naayana Prabhu. And they will be sharing pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So, Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna,
back
Prabhuji.
over to you.
Yeah, I will share my screen, Prabhuji. Are you able to see my screen, Prabhuji?
Not visible.
Are you able to see my screen?
No, Prabhu.
No?
No.
Prabhu, are you co-host now?
Yeah,
Prabhu,
he's
can you make
he's co-host. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I'm sharing my screens. Are you able to see now, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, it's visible
Okay.
now.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, yeah, thank you, Radha Rasbihari Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. So, I'm going to start now. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namo Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everyone. I would like to thank Satyasara Prabhuji, Jai Subhatra Mataji, and Prabhakaran Prabhuji and Prashant Prabhuji for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salataya Chakshurun Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So today we are going to see wonderful pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So first we will see who is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and little details about him. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was one of the greatest of all the scholars of Vedic literature. Although he was a Grahastha, he was living a most pious and respectable life. Even in thoughts, if you see, he did not commit any immoral activities. So he was so pure and perfect Brahmana. He was very truthful and very honest and completely, totally self-controlled. And also he studied the Vedas completely, and he could explain the purport of the Vedas in such a way that even a great renunciant, sannyasis, pandit, was coming from all over India to study Vedanta from him. So such a scholarly person, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. But he was in the school of Sripad Shankaracharya, and therefore all his explanation of all the scriptures were in the aim of trying to realize the Supreme Brahman. So one day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Krishna himself, entered into Jagannath Puri. So he saw Lord Jagannath and he was in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So when he saw Lord Jagannath, he ran towards him and fell at the feet of Lord Jagannath, and he became unconscious. And he was in such a state of ecstatic love that all the symptoms of his life were ceased. So some people, they thought that perhaps he is dead. And other priests, they were thinking, maybe he's just pretending, like a pretender, because there are so many pretenders. And they did not know what to do. So some were thinking of beating him, and some were thinking, picking him up and taking him out of the temple. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very wise. So he understood that this person was in ecstasy. So he was very special. So he ordered the gods of the temple, bring him to his home, and there he tested him in many ways. Like he couldn't find any heartbeat for him, and he couldn't find any breath or pulse, nothing. He can find anything. So, but when he placed fine cotton fibers close to his nose, there was a slight movement. So he understood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was alive, but he was thinking how to bring him back to consciousness. So there are various remedies explained in Vedas, how to bring a person in such a state of spiritual consciousness back to external awareness. And he tried all of them and nothing happened. So he was very worried and very concerned. So in the case of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Bhattacharya tested all the symptoms in the light of Shastras. So he observed the movement of his stomach, and then beatings of the heart, and then the breathing of the nostrils. So everything he tested. So he also felt the pulse of the Lord and saw that all the bodily activities were in complete suspension. So thus he came to know that Lord's unconsciousness is trance. That was very genuine. So in the meantime, if you see his companions like Nityananda Prabhu and associates of Lord, they all reached the temple a little after him. So they all heard that Lord's transcendental feats and he was being carried away by the Bhattacharya. So they all went to Bhattacharya's house. So when they saw the condition of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they had a big kirtan over there. So Nityananda Prabhuji and all of the devotees, they just begin to dance in transcendental happiness and very loudly calling out Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So knowing that there is no other way to awaken the Lord except the loud chanting of the holy names. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he tried all the various Vedic rules to bring back a person to consciousness, but he could not do it. So in the age of Kali, the original God consciousness is within all of us. So there is no way to awaken it except the loud chanting of the holy names. So all the members then chanted loudly the holy name of the Lord Hari as usual, and also Lord regained his consciousness after that. And also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started dancing in ecstasy, and the devotees, when they witnessed this, they also know even more happy and very blissful in chanting the holy name of the Lord. So now Kamala Naina will continue from here.
Hare Krishna devotees, thank you all joining for this evening. We are discussing about the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya pastime. As Sarveshvari explained, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya regained his consciousness by loudly chanting with the associates. Now, what is the mode of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya? Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu become conscious now. Now, what Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is thinking? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya thought that, Gauranga was a young man without any control of passion and knowledge of Vedanta. The reason why he comes to that conclusion is, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya did not like Kirtan and the Nritya. Nritya means dancing. So when he saw all the loud chanting, the Kirtan and the dancing, then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was thinking that, it's a mode of passion they are doing it. Even sometime, back when I got introduced this movement, I was also thinking like that only when people, dancing, excessively chanting. I did not understand all these things. So I was thinking that, they're doing it out of passion or something. But exactly, so that's the reason Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was, thinking that, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so young. So he is, without any control of passion and knowledge of Vedanta, they are doing like this. So now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya decided to, reinitiate Gauranga. He knows that, Gauranga got already initiated, but he wanted to reinitiate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he went and asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I wanted to initiate you. Will you take it? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, I can. But, in order to do that, you need to attend the class. Then the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed, okay, I can attend the class. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the bottom picture, you see that, this is the temple. At the temple, they both were sitting together, and the Bhattacharya went on speaking continuously for 7 days. And the Lord heard him with all attention and did not interrupt even a single thing. So now that, Lord's silence, made Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wondered, he was so surprised that, whether Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is actively listening or not. So he asked, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you were so silent all these 7 days. I don't know whether you understood what I said. So, do you have any questions? Because you were so silent, but you did not ask any questions. So now I'm asking you, do you have any questions? Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Lord Chaitanya said, okay, sir, with your permission, I will speak. So, my dear sir, I can understand the meaning of the sutras like Janmadi Asya Yadaha. That means, Janmadi means Janma Adi. So and also Janma Adi means, the creation, maintenance, and destructions, all of them. And Asya means, of the manifested universes. So Yadaha, that means, from whom. So all these things, coming from Krishna only, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he said, so Janmadi Asya Yadaha, that means Supreme Personality of Godhead is the origin of all emanation, which is said in Srimad Bhagavatam 1. Canto 1, Chapter 1 and verse 1. According to the Vedanta Sutras, Sastra Yoni Tattvat, that means the Supreme Lord is the author of all the revealed scriptures. And all the revealed scripture is for, knowing Supreme Lord only. And Adado Brahma Jignasa. That means, this is the part of the Vedanta Sutra. That means this human life is meant for inquiring about God. So the purpose of the sutras is, already explained in them, but your explanations are covering them with something else. You do not purposely take the direct meaning of the sutras, but indirectly give your own interpretations. So now Lord Chaitanya is started talking after listening all the 7 days. He is saying to the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, you are, the Vedas are giving the direct meaning, but you are interpreting in a different way, and you are giving the indirect meaning. And Lord Chaitanya continued. Srila Vyasadeva, has summarized the direct meanings of the mantras in the Upanishads, in the Vedanta Sutra. Unfortunately, you do not take their direct meaning. You indirectly interrupt them in a different way. So here, Lord Chaitanya is very, clearly giving him the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya message, because the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the interpretations, because since he came from the Srimad Sankaracharya, philosophy, that means, the Mayavadi. So he is really interested in, understanding the Supreme Brahman, the merging with the Brahmachodi. That means, he is understanding everything in the Vedas, in a different way, indirect meaning, not the direct meaning. So this is the important point. So the authority of the Vedas is unchallengeable and stands without any question about it. And whatever is stated in the Vedas must be accepted completely. Otherwise, one challenges the authority of the Vedas. This is a very beautiful point. This was, the Lord Chaitanya is telling this to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. If you are not, taking directly what the Veda says, that means, you are challenging the Vedas. This is not only the conversation, I can relate this message to ourselves also, especially for myself, I witnessed this in the, when we are attending the Bhakti Shastri class, sometimes, we also think that, we put our own logic. We think that, Srila Prabhupada said in this chapter, Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, verse 40, this way, and this chapter, he is saying this way. So it is contradicting. We will go and argue with this, the teacher, the Jayashapura Mataji, why he is saying that, all those things. But that's, we are putting our own logic. It is said in there like this, setting it. No, Mataji always says, this verse, the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada's mood and mission is, different here. That verse is different here. So after explaining everything to us, then we will understand. Like here also, that means, sometimes, we challenge the authority of the Vedas. That's what here also Lord Chaitanya is telling to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Even in another example, in the Vedas, the consul and the cow dung are bone and stool of the two living beings. But because they have been recommended by the Vedas as pure, people accept them as such, because the authority of the Vedas, they don't question about, because even though it is a stool, they treat them as a pure one only. So what here Lord Chaitanya is clearly saying, that you have to accept the Vedas as it is. You don't give your own interpretations for the Vedas and Sudra. That's what here it is saying. So after hearing all these speeches of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Bhattacharya was struck and with wonder and regarded him in dead silence. Now, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, was really, struck by the surprise, how clearly, Lord Chaitanya is, giving the direct meaning of the Vedas. And also now Lord said, Lord encouraged Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya with assurance that there was no cause to wonder. And because, I say that devotional service unto the personality of Godhead is the highest goal of human life. This is Lord Chaitanya telling to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Then he quoted a sloka from the Bhagavatam and assured him that, even liberated souls who are absorbed in the spirit and spiritual realization also take to the devotional service of the Lord Hari. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead has such a transcendental qualities that he attracts the heart of the liberated soul as well. So the Supreme Personality means what? He should attract everybody, not only the newcomers. If Supreme Personality of Godhead is attracting that, those who are coming new and those who are not liberated, and the liberated people not attracted by the Supreme Lord, then he is not the Supreme Lord. So clearly he says that, even the liberated Supreme souls, they are liberated souls, they are attracted by Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That's the clear statement here. So then the Bhattacharya, so now Lord Chaitanya said, he wanted to explain the verse from the Atmarama verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Canto 1, Chapter 7, 10. The verse goes like this. This is, Suta Goswami says this. Suta Uvasha Atmaramasha Munayo Nitkaranta Abhi Urukrame Gurvanti Ahaituhim Bhaktim Yitam Puta Gunohari. So this verse, clearly says what is Atmarama and other things. So the translation of this verse goes like this. All different varieties of Atmaramas, those who take pleasure in Atma or spirit self, especially those established on the path of self-realization, though freed from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is what, it clearly said in this verse, Atmarama verse. So in the verse, if you take it, Atma word is an important thing. We all know that. The Atma word has 7 different synonyms. It is said in that Vishwaparaksha Sanskrit dictionary. Atma means you can sometimes refer as a Brahman, that is absolute truth. And also you can refer as a body, mind, endeavor, endurance, intelligence, and the personal capital. So same Atma can be, referred in all these 7 things. So now what is Atmarama? That is very clearly said in the another verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, 27th chapter and 26th verse. Atma if you say Atma in the material sense, that means, body or the mind. But when referring to one whose the mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, then it is Atmarama. So Atmarama means, one who is fixed in spiritual activities in relationship with the Supreme Soul. So this is, this is what explained to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So the Supreme Soul is the personality of Godhead and the individual soul is the living entity. So when they both, that's a Supreme Soul and Soul, when they both engage in reciprocation of the service and benediction, the living entity is said to be in the Atmarama position. So you got it, the Supreme Soul and the living entity, Jivatma. When Jivatma serves Supreme Lord and Supreme Lord gives benediction, so this is a relationship between these two things, that Atmarama position. So how will I attain that Atmarama position? This Atmarama position can be attained by one who knows the truth as it is. Not like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, we need to know the truth, absolute truth as it is. The truth is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the enjoyer. We are to be enjoyed. That means, we the living entities are meant for his service and enjoyment. So one who knows this truth. So I am here to, serve Supreme Lord. If I know this truth, and who tries to engage not only the understanding, and then we are applying, one who tries to engage all the resources in the service of the Lord, escapes all the material reactions and influences of the modes of the material nature. So this is how I can escape from this material nature and be in the Atmarama position. So, but Mayavadi, conveniently taking out that, the devotional part, the devotional service part. So they do everything, but, the devotional service, because they saying that, when we merge into the Brahma Jyoti, they also become a God. After becoming Brahma Jyoti, they hang out there. What do they do that? There is no one to serve there. So again, they fall down. So the devotional service is the important thing. In order to do the devotional service, you need to believe Krishna is the Supreme Lord, which has the personal form. You should not think that, it is impersonal. That's the main thing here. So according to the Sanskrit, in the verse, as I said, that 1.7.10, there is a word called Kuruvanti that refers to, doing things for someone else. That means, it means that, Atmaramas render devotional service unto the Lord, not for personal interest, but for the pleasure of the Lord. That is Uru Krama. That's what it is. So the meaning of that 1.7. General meaning of that 1.7.10 verse is, those who are liberated souls and are fully satisfied within themselves will eventually become devotees of the Lord. This especially describes for that impersonalist who have no information about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means they don't have any information of the personal form of that, Godhead. But Vedas clearly says that, but they are ignoring it. They are saying that, it does not have any personal form. But still, they try to remain satisfied with the impersonal Brahman. But Krishna is so attractive. This is the important thing. Krishna is so attractive, even though they think that Krishna has no personal form, but Krishna is so attractive and so strong, he attracts their minds also. That is the purport of this. That's the Atmarama thing. So the Lord first, first of all, Lord asked all Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to explain this Atmarama verse. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained that verse in 9 different ways. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave the explanation about this verse, Atmarama verse, in 9 different ways. But then Lord Chaitanya explained the same verse in 18 different ways, without touching any of the 9 explanation which was given by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Now, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya realized this is not the ordinary thing. So then he realized and he thinks that, after hearing the explanation of the Atmarama sloka from the Lord, Bhattacharya was convinced that such a scholarly presentation is impossible for an earthly creature. So he realized that, Sarvabhauma, Lord Chaitanya is not an ordinary human being, and, he is none other than, Supreme Lord itself. Now, Gauranga, the Lord Chaitanya, embraced Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And then, Chaitanya showed him the 6 forms, this is what the conversation between the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And then, now Lord shows, like 6 handed forms, form. Unique, this is unique form. So the Lord in his kindness displayed a number of different divine forms to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, starting with the 400 Narayana form, and then 200 Krishna form, holding a flute, and then he was showing that 600 form also. So if you look at the 600 form, this form is called Sadbhuja. So the 600 form, and also it is referred as a Gaura Sundara form. Gaura Sundara form is a representation of 3 incarnations. If you take these 2 hands, the bow and arrow, this is Lord Ramachandra, Lord Ram. Then when you look at the Tribhanga form of Krishna holding the flute and playing the flute, this is another incarnation. Then the third one is, third one, if you look at the third one, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is symbolized by a sannyasa. So sannyasa means what? Sannyasa danda. The long stick is the sannyasa danda. And on the other hand, he is holding that, kamandalu. It's a water pot. So, this is the very unique form. And he was, after seeing this 600 form, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, fell down in faint, because the 6-armed form of the Lord is, as brilliant as millions of suns. That's why, he fell down in a faint. Then Sarvabhauma fainted in ecstasy with divine joy. He then rose, and, after that, he woke up, and then he danced, and he fell down at the feet of the Gauranga. See, look at the picture, feet of the Gauranga, and said, "Oh, Venerable Master, logic had made my heart as hard as iron." This is what we also sometimes, most of the time, do the mistake. We also apply the logic. We don't, understand the, purport as it is. We apply our own, material knowledge, material things. So that's why the reason, you need to hear it from the Guru Parambara with the proper Guru, spiritual master. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also says, I applied the logic that made my heart as iron. I had no devotion. You have melted me. Salutations unto you, the powerful Lord. So this is what the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's, reciprocation after hearing everything from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and after seeing the 600 form also. So what I realized this pastime. So their pastime, the Bhattacharya wanted to teach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though Mahaprabhu was the Supreme Lord, he was submissively listening to Bhattacharya's teaching for 7 days without interrupting. He did not say any word. He is the Supreme Lord. Still, he listened to the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 7 days attentively. It's, so this shows Mahaprabhu's, amazing qualities, which is very inspiring. Of course, he is the Lord himself. But now what we are doing nowadays, we are not even able to sit and pay attention for 30 minutes class or 1 hour class. So in this material world, if we have a little bit of material knowledge, we think we are superiors, and we don't even consider other person's opinion or ready to listen to them. These are these are the qualities we need to learn from, Supreme Lord. We need to be very humble, very submissive before we make any comment on others. We need to listen to others, and then we can give our opinion and make them realize without hurting them, like how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that, without hurting them what is right and what is wrong. So, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, many people do not know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even I did not know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 10 years back. I was in ignorance mode. So we need to preach. What we need to learn from this pastime is, we need to preach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teachings to everyone. Mahaprabhu showed us an easy path. By following the Sankirtan movement, one can go really closer to God. So this is what I learned from this. So we need to go for book distribution, preaching, and everything. We need to spread Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, glorifications to everyone. So we are happy Gaura Purnima tomorrow. Advanced happy Gaura Purnima. Thank you to all my gurus, senior devotees, and all devotees for helping us progress in this path. Thank you so much. And also, we are, please forgive us if we make any mistakes. That's because of my ignorance I did that, and Sarveshvari also. Please forgive us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Kamala Naayana Prabhu. It was a wonderful class. You made a lot of, you and of course, Sarveshvari Mataji both made a lot of good points. Please allow me to see if I repeat one or two for my own purification. I think Sarveshvari Mataji said the God resides in everyone's heart, and chanting will bring that God consciousness out, which is like really beautiful word. It's a beautiful sentence. Thank you, Mataji. And also, Prabhu, you mentioned one must accept authority of Vedas, and even liberated souls also, accepts devotional service. And these are all like amazing points, Prabhuji. And then you mentioned about what is explained Atma Rama, which means like when Super Soul and Jivatma, they both reciprocate. That is the Atma Rama position. So that was amazing, Prabhu. And finally, you also shared the Sadbhuja form that Lord showed. And you wrapped up with a really good conclusion that says logic kind of makes one people's heart more harder, right? They don't, there's another side to the God consciousness, is a more emotional side of things, and trusting the Vedas. So amazing points, Prabhu. It was so good. So thank you so much for a wonderful class, both of you, Sarveshvari Mataji and Kamala Naayana Prabhu. So devotees, do you have any questions for both of them?
Bakaran Prabhu, you are mute.
Someone keeps muting me, Prabhu. I don't know what's when I move screen, I think I already get muted, or I'm not sure what's going on. So yeah. So I was saying, like, we reached a conclusion of the pre-celebrations of Mahaprabhu's appearance day. So thank you so much for all the participants who have been presenting their realizations since this Monday. Thank you so much for your time. And with that, we'll end the program here. And over to you, Radha Damodar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. We'll end the call now. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.